When you think of Iowa's countryside, a few things probably come to mind. Of course, there are the cows and seemingly endless fields of corn and soybeans. But look a little closer. You may see something you haven't noticed before, like this version of the 1930s American Gothic, but on a barn. Or rows and rows of barns decorated with bright, colorful patterns. I decided to crack the mystery for myself, hopping in my car for a trip through rural Iowa, hoping to find out what's behind the art on Iowa barns. It took a lot of knocking and waiting before I got some answers.
We felt like it was, historical preservation to signify these barns by putting a barn quilt on it.
In Washington, I found colorful painted quilts like these on nearly every barn.
You have some people that actually think there's cloth quilts that we put up on the barn. It's like, no, they're painted and they're on there permanently.
In 2006, Kathy Ebert and her 97-year-old mother, Marie, painted this quilt high up on their family barn.
I picked out the colors that I really liked. I felt very proud to think that I was taking part in this.
It's called the Prairie Queen, named after the farm that's been in Kathy's family since the 1930s.
It's very important that people understand that there's a strong family tradition in farming and the farm and everything that's involved with it.
A tradition Kathy and other farmers wanted to keep alive. So she formed a barn quilt group in 2006 that travels through Washington County. There are more than 220 of these painted quilts throughout Washington County alone. And to the owners of the barnyards and the farming community, the paintings are much more than just pretty pictures.
We feed the world. It's like, if you don't have farmers, you don't eat. People don't realize that. We want to preserve the history of the barns and preserve the barns.
In Elkader, a different kind of barn art is keeping that same tradition alive. Would you say that this is, would you call it a hobby or an obsession?
Yeah, both, I guess.
Hal Colliver's love of Iowa farm life can be seen for miles, literally. Hundreds of signs and symbols of rural Iowa hang from the 3 barns on his farm.
I'm just trying to preserve some of Americana like it used to be.
The former truck driver and pig farmer started collecting signs of farm life in the 1970s. He's picked up some signs along the road, but they're mainly from
auctions or flea markets.
Each barn is kind of like a museum, detailing farming history. For example, this one is a tribute to Iowa corn, decorated from top to bottom in seed corn signs. In another barn, antique farming equipment.
They used to haul grain and hogs in them, cattle. 1930 was the year it was made.
So there's no great mystery here.
It's just stuff I love, I really do.
Iowa's painted barns are reminders of roots and tradition and family. In Washington County, Kim Wynn, CBS 2 News.
This father of the bride, that's a good one.
Most Friday and Saturday nights, Linda Barkoff is home watching old movies.
Pretty Woman. I watch that frequently.
Or remodeling her kitchen.
All new cupboards, new countertops, new lighting.
She tries to keep busy now that she's 65, single.
Little pieces of you start falling apart and things drop. Oh dear.
And slowly getting back on the dating scene.
I'm hoping that I can find someone. Go out and dance. I like to see movies. I like to go out and eat.
It's been 3 years since her husband, Don, died of leukemia.
You have to go on. And that's what they would want you to do.
So she's been using a dating service and is now even open to rediscovering love online.
You're 50 plus, maybe you haven't dated for a number of years, you have, some older children, you have some concerns.
AARP launched their own dating website in December for people like Linda and others trying to find love in their golden years. Of its 37 million members, 1/4 are single, and you can nearly double those numbers nationwide.
We're trying to create more of a feeling that you're not alone in this. There's a lot of people who are single, would like to date.
Just like eHarmony or Match.com, the first step for seniors is to create a profile. which shows off their best qualities and interests and hopefully helps them find someone who has some of them in common.
What kind of movies are you interested in? What kind of restaurants are you interested in?
And even if you don't find the one after the first few clicks, the site also offers dating tips like where to go or how to act on a first date. There's also advice on having the most important quality of all to find love: courage.
You're going to have to go on a few dates and be brave and put yourself out there a little bit.
Something Linda says she's willing to try.
If they've got a good sense of humor, that'll just click with me right away.
So that her next Valentine's Day isn't the same.
I went and bought my own Valentine gift. It's my favorite chocolate.
Nor her Friday and Saturday nights.
I'm not dead yet, so there might be a spark there or two.
Covering the corridor in Solon, Kim Nguyen, CBS 2 News.
And we continue our coverage of breaking news of a building fire in Iowa City.
Multiple fire departments have been called to a structure fire on Jackson Avenue. That's in the Longfellow neighborhood. CBS 2's Kim Nguyen is live at the scene with the latest. Kim, what can you tell us?
Scott and Tiffany, very little at this point. I'm still waiting to hear from fire officials to see exactly what caused this fire and what's going on here. All I can really do is just describe to you what I see here on the ground. So I'm going to step to the side and let you guys see what we're seeing down here on the ground. This one-story building right here, you can see the smoke and the flames. You can really see it from all the way down the block. Firefighters are pouring water on it, trying to get the fire out. People around this neighborhood have been evacuated. So far, fire officials tell me that no one has been hurt, thankfully. They got a call around 7:50. That's about the time that police and firefighters got on scene, and they've been trying to get through. There's still fire flames coming out through the side of the building. You can see the smoke just from miles and miles away. A pretty dangerous situation. There are lots of neighbors just kind of backing away from what's going on here, just trying to figure out exactly what happened. Again, we know very little details on what caused this fire, but as soon as we find out what happens, we will definitely let you guys know. For now, we're covering the corridor in Iowa City. Kim Nguyen at CBS 2 News.
Kim, before we let you go, from your vantage point, it looks like that's mixed-use neighborhood there. It looks like a home right behind you. The building that's on fire, does that look like a business from your vantage point?
Okay, Scott, I just need you to say that one more time.
I was just saying it looks like a mixed-use neighborhood. We can see a home behind you, but the building that's on fire, from your vantage point, can you tell whether that's a business or not?
Okay, it definitely looks like a business. It doesn't look like a home. Definitely some type of business or commercial property, but it's not a home. Not from where I stand, and no one has been hurt.
The city says rebuilding in the Time Check area is vital on many fronts. For one, it would give back directly to the folks who've been without these services for the past 4 years. But also by bringing people back to the area, the city hopes to breathe life into many of the businesses shut down on Ellis Boulevard. Good evening, Sadie, and Merry Christmas. Not only did folks make good use of this hill here, they had a blast. I mean, there were dozens and dozens of families out here on their sleds, having snowball fights. It was really packed earlier. Folks pretty much cleared out once it got a little bit darker. And they all said the same thing, that you can enjoy family and you can enjoy Christmas pretty much anywhere, even in the snow. While some sing Christmas carols and others sit by the tree, there are those who strap up and dive headfirst into the Christmas spirit.
This is another way of bonding with my boys.
Family bonding mixed with snow gear, snowboards, and plenty of snow to sled in. A new tradition for some families who are skipping the eggnog and instead
sledding down the hill, sliding, a lot of things.
But an old tradition for people like Jenna Burt, whose family sled on Bowman Woods Hill every Christmas.
We went sledding and we played in the snow, snowball fights.
So this year, she's passing it along.
So you're going to start this family tradition with your son?
Yep, keep it on going.
For other non-conventional sledders,
we found on gravel road.
And you've been sledding with that?
We have.
The day wasn't about bonding or tradition.
We ran out of eggnog, so we decided to do some country sledding.
And
Sadie, I'm not the best sledder in the world, but I throw a pretty mean snowball. I don't know what you think about this one I got here. So I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe when I get off work, I'll just put the mic down and enjoy this hill for myself. We're covering the corridor tonight in Cedar Rapids. Kim Nguyen, CBS 2 News.